Jesus. Motherfucker. My bad. Yeah, we do this. We now most of during the week we have to do all this double.
Yeah.
So that's where if I did move to Friday nights,
Yep.
hopefully, just then well, replays on YouTube and
Spotify. Yep.
also I didn't upload last week's episode.
Mm-hmm.
I was just going to leave that. Still exposed. Yeah. Hopefully put it up more.
Yeah, it's been a little crazy.
Once I get one bank card for my trying to spend all New York.
Yeah, I had that same thing happen to me with like $600 a couple of years ago. So
Off, how do you? That's my thought.
yeah, I don't know. That's so weird how that works. You would think.
I'm sure
Yeah.
there is. Right, so two big bring on hand. So I got a meeting Thursday, so all the buzz on that meeting. Just yeah, on the they have DJ over numbers. They got that's what radio going. So.
Yeah.
On StreamYard on Choppy?
Honestly, both, but I don't know if it's. I'm trying to figure out if it's me or you. I just wanted to let you know. So.
Yeah. Well, Restream's got my bars down for some reason. If I switch fucking internets now, it'll probably fuck it up. So. Anyway.
All right.
All right. We'll get it.
Well, you do sound better, but you're still a little choppy. Like I say, I'm not 100% sure if it's me or you. I just want to let you know.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, that's fine. Like I said, I think it's a lot to do with streaming through two different platforms too. So I'm sure that's got a lot to do with it. But
that could be like you said. We're gonna get that taken care of. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna like I said, I gotta wait on my bank card now. Straighten all that shit out. Straighten all that shit out. Right now, we're just do the best we can.
Yep.
I definitely want to get all this shit figured out before we start guest on here again. So
yeah, absolutely.
I done threw some lines in the water and get back into that part of the.
Mm-hmm.
Start talking to bands again. So
yeah, me too.
But the little expo thing kind of put a damper on all that. But of course, but we got to talk to a lot of people that day. So
yeah, we sure did.
It didn't matter.
Yeah,
but,
we did make a lot of connections that day. So
yeah, that's to back up. Get them
mm-hmm.
some birthdays. So Saturday, put
right. Yeah.
So, from April 1st through the 7th this week. So
yeah, it worked out.
Drummer for Charter, Michael Holson, beat RJ Hale, drummer for Hailstorm. April 2nd, we had Sasha Gerstner, guitarist for Freedom Call and Halloween, which currently are with Halloween now. So,
right.
Then we had one of our favorites, Phil Demmel, a guitarist for Violence and Machine Head.
Yep.
We had Franklin. He was the producer, and he actually produced all 4 of our friend Spillage's albums. So give them.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
It's always good to follow some of this stuff.
Yeah. And
April
Spillage
3rd.
has got some news. Spillage has got some news they're going to be announcing pretty soon too. So I saw that on Facebook today too. So I mean, as soon as they put that out,
and I actually got some news to pass along from some of our past guests too. So it's big stuff going on for some of our past guests. So
very nice.
Yeah. So all right, April 3rd, we have Lakassen, singer, songwriter, and musician for Carry On. Musician there. So, then we had Chris Oliva, of course, for 793. Sebastian Bach, singer for Skid Row. Dave Lizio, guitar from 2014. Then April, Gary Moore, guitarist for Thin Lizzy and Skid Row as well. 2011. We had Nigel Preston, who passed away. Mike Starr, James has away as well. Man, rough year.
Right.
Then we had a guitarist for Killswitch Engage, also produced the we had Dave from 7 to 80. Six, Eric Schneider, vocalist for Upton, drummer for Brittany Fox. Yeah, seventh, Dan Cooper, vocalist and bassist for Skillet. So happy birthday, all of those. You have any personal birthday shout?
Actually, yeah, I do. This one's a little old, but like I say, just the way the dates fell and everything with us switching over to Friday nights. Last Saturday, April 1st, my father-in-law JD had his birthday, and then yesterday was my mom's birthday, and she is and she's a huge fan of the show, so obviously, but
yeah. we love the moms. So,
yes, we do.
We her in the group text.
Oh yeah,
she's more that's pretty cool. All right, to those. Well, it's a long weekend. If you have one
Yep.
Every time.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right. Well, Lee, since we're talking about the birthdays, it leads us into current events like we normally do every week. That doesn't change. Unfortunately, we didn't have the best week this week. We've got a trio of passings to report. Our first one takes us over to the PRP.com. So leading off, Silent Majority guitarist Rich Giacovina has passed away. A staple in the Long Island melodic hardcore scene, Silent Majority would go on to leave an influential legacy. Giacovina's cause of death was not readily made available, but his bandmates and friends had begun paying tribute to him online. Chris Enriquez of Spotlights posted, quote, growing up in the Long Island hardcore scene as an outsider, trying to get in wasn't easy. My friends in high school and I admired what your friends created and built, and little did some of us know it would be the foundation for the rest of our lives in one way or another, whether it was some kind of musical direction or simply creating bonds at your shows with other like-minded people who would go on to be best friends forever and create memories stemmed from what you guys built. I played a show opening for you in one of my old bands, Runner Up, and the other band was On the Might of Princes, which I later joined. You had written SM Loves OTMOP in the band's mailing list, and it caught my eye. You guys were intimidating to us. To see you showing love to outsiders was very heartwarming. Later on, when I would eventually join the band, we had played with your other bands, Head versus Breakers, and I had nice conversations with you and my singer, Jason Rosenthal, RIP, eventually moved in with you. I haven't seen you in years, but we've messaged online here and there. There was never a moment you weren't kind, sweet, and generous with your time. You were always positive as well. I've never stopped listening to your music or being inspired by you and your friends, even though I'm in my 40s now. When Arthur and I decided to relaunch Wreckage Records, doing Life of a Spectator was a no-brainer, and the love was very clear from the amount of people who purchased the reissue and all the merch. I'm honored to have had the chance to work with you and your band on its reissue while you were still here in physical form. Your spirit and being will live on through everyone's memories as well as continue through your music that we have for the rest of our lives on Earth. Thank you. Much love to Silent Majority, their families, friends, and everyone who lived, whose lives were touched in one way or another by Rich, end quote. So that was a pretty heartfelt tribute there. So, and come to find out that Rich was 49 when he passed away, and he passed away on the 4th. So thoughts go out to all his family and friends.
That always sucks.
Mm-hmm.
You had a couple more.
What's that now? Yeah, I've got you. Do you want me to just knock him out?
Yeah, just knock them out.
Okay. All right. Moving over to blabbermouth.net for a couple. Original Choir Boys guitarist Gus Bailey has died. Guy Bailey, not Gus Bailey. Sorry. Guitarist Guy Bailey has died. The news of Guy's passing was broke by the band's singer Spike, a.k.a. Jonathan Gray, who took to his social media earlier today to write, quote, I'm heartbroken to have to write this. My best friend Guy Bailey passed away peacefully in hospital last night in the arms of his beloved Bianca. Guy was the kindest, funniest man you could have the pleasure of being around. He was loved by everyone who he ever worked with, all the bands he ever toured with, and all the Choir Boys fans he ever met. He certainly loved you all more than you will ever know. I have so much I would like to share and say to everyone about him, but this is such a hard time for me and everyone close to him. I hope you all understand. But for the Choir Boys fans out there, I would just like to say me and Guy Bailey have written the songs for a new album, and me and Chris Johnstone, Nigel Mogg, and Rudy Richmond that will fulfill his wishes that these songs are recorded and a new Choir Boys album will be released this year. So everyone raise a glass for Guy Bailey and let's keep rock and roll alive for him. I love you, mate. I know you're having a drink with our dads now and looking down and watching us bubble. Your best mate, Spikey, XX, end quote. Bailey and Spike formed the Choir Boys in 1984 and were responsible for writing many of the band's signature songs, including Hey You, 7 O'Clock, I Don't Love You Anymore, and There She Goes Again from the Choir Boys' classic debut album, A Bit of What You Fancy. After the Choir Boys split in 1993, Bailey was a part of the British band's brief reunion in 1995, but wasn't included in the Choir Boys lineup when the group reformed in 2001. Last May, Spike and Bailey announced that they had reunited and were writing a new album together, which they said would be released under the Choir Boys name. So we'll definitely keep our eyes out for that. It is in fact going to be released later this year. So and I also don't have I, I don't have a cause or an age for at this point for Guy. And let's see the third and thankfully last one for this week. Acclaimed rock still at Blabbermouth. Acclaimed rock bassist John Regan has died. No cause of death has been revealed. Regan had performed with Todd Howarth, drummer Anton Fig of Late Show with David Letterman fame, and original Kiss guitarist Ace Frehley in the band Frehley's Comet. His recording credits also include Peter Frampton, the Rolling Stones, Mick Jagger, David Bowie, David Lee Roth, Robin Trower, Billy Idol, and many more. According to the Poughkeepsie Journal, Regan met Frehley in the mid-1980s at a friend's recording studio in White Plains, New York. The two got together for a jam session playing Jimi Hendrix and Led Zeppelin tunes, and that led to Regan's involvement with Frehley's Comet. His tenure with that band lasted until about 1990. Asked about Frehley, Reagan told the Poughkeepsie Journal, quote, "He's a kook in a good sense. In a world full of copies, he's a one-off. He's an original," end quote. And regarding the allure of Kiss, the hard rockers known for outlandish costumes and makeup, Regan said, quote, "It was almost like getting a rock band and a circus on the same night. It was an event. It was a multi-sensory experience. It was total immersion in this spectacle that nobody else was doing," end quote. In a 2016 interview with Songfacts, John stated about his approach to working with big-name artists, quote, "I have been fortunate to have worked with artists that did not dictate on any level, keeping in mind that I have always approached my contribution to a recording or live performance as one of facilitator. By that I mean it is always in the forefront of my mind to try and play my bass parts to best serve the song, singer, and my fellow musicians. Peter Frampton in particular was a pleasure to work with in that regard. For the better part of for the better part of 31 years, from 1979 through 2010, it was an honor to compose and perform his music." And he goes on to talk about the many other people he's worked with, like Billy Idol, Mick Jagger, David Bowie, the Rolling Stones.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, this guy is another one of these bassists, like Martin Motnick, like who we talked
Right.
to at the expo, who has a massively long list of an impressive list also of people he's worked with. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
this guy's fingerprints are all over a lot of music. So yeah. And again, I currently don't have a cause or a cause of death or age for him either. So
It's unfortunate. There's also Tom Pilecki. He passed away on March 31st. He was a um, he's been known to make stuff for like Vinnie Vincent and people like. Well, I want to make sure I called out condolences to his family as well. So
absolutely.
I know I'm using not the one with the bad news. So
Yep, Tina and Stellan. Congratulations to them. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Yeah, yeah. I saw that. When did I see it? I saw that yesterday. I think it was. It was either yesterday or Wednesday when I saw them post that on Facebook. I was super excited for them. So I'm very, very happy that they're getting to play that festival. They deserve it. Right. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's a little bit of, animosity brewing in, in some of these ba in a couple bands. Mm-mm. Yeah. Mhm. Well, and I mean I mean, you can't, and you can't hold his health issues against him. I mean, I mean, you can't do that. I mean, he's been doing the best he can. I mean, his health issues have been pretty well documented, and even with his as long as he's been, I honestly I'd have to look up what exactly is wrong with him. I know I've heard of it before, but the exact name of it escapes me. But we've talked about it on the show before. But I mean, I'm so like I said, I'm go ahead. Right. Hmm. Oh, I would almost bet on that. Yeah. But yeah, I saw the story where he says, "I've been carrying these bastards for 41 years." I thought that I thought that I actually thought it was pretty funny that he said that. Not that it's, not that there's not some small grain of truth to that. Like, cuz like you said, if like, Motley Crue wouldn't be Motley Crue without Mick Mars. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, there are so many. I've seen. I don't know how many videos of Vince Neil like butchering these songs. I mean, uh, mhm, basically, yeah. Well, that's the well, see, that's the thing is, I mean, that on the face of it makes sense. I mean, if he's not able to physically tour, I mean, I get it, but you guys have been around for 40 plus years at this point. You guys should be able to act like fucking adults and work it out. Or even if you were going to replace Mick with John 5, which they have already done, you know or, work it out to where, it's in the best interest of everybody and you guys aren't slinging mud at each other, throwing each other under the bus and talking shit. And like you said, how can they say what they're saying about Mick Mars when Vince Neil is barely able to make it through a song, you know, and not run out of breath. So I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. 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 Hey, before we get into the next story, we have a post on Facebook over here saying that YouTube is only me and they can't hear you. You are not showing up on Restream. Uh, so I want to give a thanks to Ice Siege for that. I hope I'm saying your name right, Ice Siege. He's in or they. I don't. Uh, they are in the Facebook chat. So thank you for pointing that out. So oh hey, there you are. There you are.
I don't know. So it's just the whole time. So like I said, we're gonna go back to doing this.
Yeah, you're yeah, the StreamYard's been fine. I've been watching you the whole time. So
Yeah.
so thankfully thankfully Ice Siege came by and gave me the heads up because I wasn't quite paying attention to the restream part. So
Stay over. Like I've been kind of back and forth to make sure. So I'll just stay over here for StreamYard. So
okay, all right, that sounds good. But yeah, thank you for the heads up there, Ice Siege.
we
And we also appreciate
what
you.
we got a show like that.
Right. Yeah. And while we're at it, Ice Siege, thank you for joining the show. We appreciate you. All right. So I'm staying over at Blabbermouth for basically the rest of my part of the current events. Last week's show, we talked about the Morbid Angel show and the venue that was damaged when the in Illinois where the tornado had blown through. Well, now we have the identity of the fan who passed away in that in the tornado. So over at Blabbermouth, Morbid Angel has paid tribute to Frederick Forrest Livingston Jr., the 50-year-old man who was killed when the roof of the venue of the band Belvedere, Illinois collapsed. Although the concert was reportedly sold out, the Belvedere Police Department said only 260 people were at the Apollo Theater on March 31st when the collapse occurred as a heavy storm rolled through the area. The capacity of the theater is around 1,500. Officials were notified by the National Weather Service of a tornado warning at 7:45 Central Time. The roof collapsed 10 minutes later, according to Belvedere Fire Department Chief Sean Shadle. Late Saturday night, being April 1st, last week, Morbid Angel released the following statement via social media. Quote, "We want to personally send our heartfelt condolences to the family and friends of our deceased brother in metal, Fred Livingston Jr." End quote. A fan also shared a link to a GoFundMe fundraising campaign, which has been launched to help Livingston's family. And I'm going to open that hyperlink right now just to check that out. Livingston's sister Deanna Hicks told ABC7 Chicago he was attending the concert at the theater with his son Alex, who Hicks said is okay. Quote, "On behalf of the family of Frederick Forrest Livingston Jr., Fred was the son, brother, father, uncle, and grandpa. Fred was a car and heavy metal enthusiast. Fred had a big heart and cared for others deeply. Please keep all of Fred's family and friends in your thoughts. Please respect our privacy," end quote. Hicks said in a statement to ABC News. And that fundraiser is currently at $44,643 raised of a $20,000 goal. So you guys are out there killing it, which is very, very cool of all of you guys. So to everybody who has donated, a huge thank you on behalf of Fred Livingston Jr.'s family. So
There's the story, so I wanted to make sure that I was talking about that story, and I had it reminded me of something that I needed.
okay.
Um, Stream. Let me go back to no, it was the record that I had on the original. Nine points go like stuff actually, and this guy's name. And yes, maybe I was wrong.
Well, I do also know that one of the other bands that was at the show, because you had actually last Friday night, it was Capra, I believe it was. They had their art, but not it wasn't. Well, it was a mobile motorhome is what it was. Their motorhome. It was either a tree or a telephone pole or something fell on it, and I saw a story, and I was going to bring this up during the headline part, but they're looking at being on the hook for a $60,000 either repair bill or replacement cost for their RV that got damaged too. So. I don't know why you keep disappearing on Restream. That is so strange.
I got green bars too, which is weird. Uh, that's really fucking
Yeah,
weird.
I
Okay.
can.
But anyway,
Yeah, I can see that. But
yeah. Anyway, it was one of Non Point's big. It was one of Non Point's really that at that concert in that building. I,
you good? No, actually, I didn't. I for a second you started talking, and for a second there, I thought my Wi-Fi was taking a shit. It's definitely not running smoothly. I mean, we'd had a lot more luck with it last week, so I don't know. Let's hope we don't have to hope for severe weather every weekend to get this damn app to work right. Let's hope we don't. Uh, give us just a second here. Yeah, everybody watching on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter right now, give us just 1 second. So I know iSega is listening on YouTube at this point. So just give us a second. Right. You would think it would run better if you're paying for it. You would think. Yeah. All right. That is really, really odd. Right. Yeah. Do I need to forward the link back to you? Oh. Try coming back in audio only and see if that helps. I don't know why it would, but I don't know why it would help, but ah, so weird. Oh, where it says host? No, that was me. Yeah, that was me. I was trying to I'm not really Yeah, I'm not real sure because like because Isiga he was over at Facebook. He said he was switching over to watch YouTube on his TV, and then when I came over, I was looking at some of the comments, and some of the commenters were saying that this was going on and that was going on. So I put the comment up there that we were trying to work through everything. So hopefully hopefully everyone can hang out and be patient. So I was about to say, if you have to reload it, go ahead. Yeah.
What the fuck? This is so fucking weird.
Yeah. Yeah, there you are. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to figure this out.
Fuck you. Jesus Christ. All right. Well, hopefully we're back in the. I don't know if you heard anything I said, but about the fan of non-points, but
Yeah, I did.
okay, good. All right. So yeah, like I said, last I heard the update on, he was in a coma. I'm not sure if he pulled out of that yet or not. I haven't seen that update, and actually they took a lot of that off of their page. So I'm not sure if a family member may have asked him to. I'm not sure. So um,
Okay, well,
so I don't have an update on that guy. So unfortunately, on his way to the men. So.
yeah, okay. We'll definitely keep our eye on that for sure. All right, so this is kind of this is directly related with the severe weather that came through last week over at blabbermouth.net. And, hey, Metallica being Metallica again. Metallica's All Within My Hands Foundation is granting a total of $150,000 to 3 separate organizations to provide assistance and relief to areas affected by severe weather in the United States. The first 2 organizations to receive $50K each are Team Rubicon and Direct Relief. The funds will assist in their recovery efforts related to the powerful thunderstorms which swept through Mississippi and Alabama on the evening of March 24th, 2023, producing multiple tornadoes. According to the National Weather Service, there were reports of 20 tornadoes that swept through the 2 states that day, including a violent Scale 4 enhanced Fujita in Rolling Fork, Mississippi. By March 26th, another tornado was confirmed to have touched down near LaGrange, Georgia, about 65 miles southeast of Atlanta. Residents in the path of funnel clouds have lost nearly everything, and in many areas, flipped cars, demolished houses, ripped power lines, and toppled water towers are all that remain. Homes, businesses, farmland, and most devastatingly, 26 lives have all been lost. The damage to these communities will last a very long time, but the need for aid and the response by both Team Rubicon and Direct Relief are immediate. Team Rubicon's volunteers, known as Gray Shirts, are boots on the ground in impacted communities, assessing damage and clearing trees and debris from roadways. They are the only nonprofit organization conducting this type of work, allowing first responders to come in and residents to leave to access vital resources. The environment is not the only thing in need of attention. Public health and safety are also serious concerns, from acute injuries to unmanaged chronic conditions that can develop into medical crises. Direct Relief is sending supplies to the Mississippi and Alabama Primary Care Associations, the Mississippi and Alabama Free Clinic Associations, the National VOAD, voluntary organizations active in disaster, to support emergency medical care. So there we go. Metallica stepping up again to help out when people are in need. So that's definitely a good thing. So
Oh, man. All right. So it's crazy because I think we've had like the most people at one time tonight, which is kind of fucked up that we're difficulties with that shit going on. But
that just figures. So
yeah. So I actually seen Dan in here a minute. Myrna, and Yer was in, and then now Haley from Haley Smith, a friend of mine, is in here now. So it's kind of like, wow, there's a lot of people. And I think my wife was watching earlier, so it's been a pretty good bit of people in and out of here. So we definitely going to make some changes with this feed. So
Yeah.
when I get rid of my account, I'm gonna so.
Hell yeah.
All right. All right, so we heard the Motley Crue tiff, so might as well go on over to the next one.
Yeah, this one's been brewing for a little bit, and this one's getting nasty.
Can you hear me? Am I good?
Oh yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
So this one's still at Loudwire, threatening to release a 120-page damning manuscript that would ruin the careers of Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons. If an ultimatum wasn't met, former Keith Freely has returned to Trump Nation with Eddie Trump with a significant April 4th informed listeners that he had indeed spoken with Fraley since the Firebrand interview week where the spaceman demanded a retraction of Paul Stanley made during an appearance on the Howard Stern show. Fraley also demanded an apology within 7 days and read over last week. Fraley had spoken to Stanley, but he hadn't yet divulged the details of what was said. Well, during the interview, asked if Stanley contacted Fraley after the ultimatum was issued. Fraley responded, did not long after the show was over, Fraley confirmed. I was blindsided by the phone call because I saw his name come up on my cell phone, and I spoke to him different times on that number, and that can be verified by Verizon, who is my cell phone carrier as well. I figured calling me maybe to apologize or at least explain why he said that. Maybe he meant it more towards Peter than me. Instead of I got a 5-second phone call, fuck you, Ace, I'm not going to apologize, and hung up. he wasn't even give me a rebuttal and explain why I'm so upset or anything like that. The guitarist continues. Look for your email messages that I sent you. I did screen grabs from Verizon. It's the same as our interview, and it says 5 seconds. He adds, which Trump verifies he personally saw. With Kiss manager Doc McGee, since last week, McGee denied that Stanley had called him at all. I've been in touch with Doc for at least 3 or 4 last interview and today, and the early text to him was today because I was hoping Paul had enough sense to you know what. I wouldn't have been happy. I would have been happy if Paul just called me one-on-one like a man and apologized. That would have sufficed. But after cursing me out on the phone, the gloves are off, Fraley explained. He then suggested this matter could be taken to court for defamation of character regarding the comments made about him and his performance capabilities. Is Ace releasing the manuscript? After some careful consideration, Fraley has elected not to release this manuscript. I spoke to several good friends, God-fearing people, and I go to AA, Alcoholics Anonymous meetings with, and they said, don't ever sink to their level. That's what they do. That's what they've been doing for years. Why are you going to sink to their level? So then I came to the realization that I don't even have to bring up anything that I've hidden away in my attorney's safe deposit box. I can just that about me in black and white. They can't for me, and after that, because it's in black and white. For example, Paul Stanley has admitted to Kiss Company that created the logo behind it. Now all know that that's a lie. He contends, noting the first rendering logo he made in professional performances and their former penchant for substance abuse, despite a supposed open door policy on allowing either member to raise with Kiss on their exhaustive farewell tour. Stanley again put Ace's crosshairs. So replying to Sterner's question about why the classic pair didn't perform with Kiss fame ceremony in 2014, I said organizers were demanding, quite honestly, that we play with the two original guys. At this point, that would be demeaning to the current Kiss band and also would give people confusion, because if you saw people on stage who looked like Kiss, maybe we should call ourselves Piss, said contended. All that really pissed Fraley off so much so Trump last week. I'm going to make a statement about Paul Stanley right now. I'm telling you that I want a formal apology for what you said and a retraction of an apology within days. Don't get that 7 days. I'm coming back on the Eddie Trump show if you'll have me, and I'm going to tell some dirt that nobody knows about Paul and Gene that I've always kept to myself, because I'm that kind of guy who doesn't talk about this. I like positive stuff. Scene from a mafia movie with Fraley noting his attorney has been instructed to release the manuscript to major news outlets if, God forbid, anything happens to him. Their careers will be ruined. The manuscript is made public, teasing these guys those guys aren't. Anyway, just a lot of more dirt throwing there, it seems like. Seems like a lot of mud.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I mean, there is a little bit of good news come out of the Kiss camp. I'm going to kind of segue off of that. Staying over at Blabbermouth, this is my last story for the week. Mending Kids' annual Imagine Gala, the Gift of the Future, was a night to remember as 250 guests came together to celebrate the organization's upcoming milestone of mending its 5,000th child. The fundraiser took place on Saturday, March 18th at the Malibu Jewish Center and Synagogue, with the who's who of Malibu, California in attendance, including Jonathan Banks from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, Lizzie Broadway, Brandon Jenner, Linda Thompson, Cindy Ambule, Don Diamont, and Titan realtor Chris Cortazzo, who received the Love Award in recognition of his dedication to Mending Kids' mission. If you're wondering where the hell I'm going with this, here you are. The highlight of the night was Kiss legend Gene Simmons' impromptu speech and generous donation of $250,000 to Mending Kids. He also offered up a signed version of his signature Axe guitar at the live auction, selling for $75,000, and added a front row seats with VIP backstage passes to a Kiss concert and a personal dog walk to the winning bidder. Quote, Mending Kids is doing incredible work, and I'm proud to support them. I encourage everyone to get involved, said Simmons. Making a special appearance at the Imagine Gala was Elise, a 5-year-old scoliosis patient from Cameroon. Mending Kids later reported that she received successful surgery performed by Dr. Robert Cho, Chief of Staff of Shriners Children's Southern California, and Dr. Robert Bernstein, Chief of Staff of Shriners Portland. Dr. Cho and Shriners Children's Southern California were honored at the gala with the Mend Award for their long-standing partnership with Mending Kids. Mending Kids has been providing life-changing surgical care to children in need of for 18 years. The organization's dedication to helping children from all over the world is unparalleled, and Mending Kids thanks everyone who made this year's Imagine Gala a huge success. So not all is not everything's going smoothly for Kiss, but I mean, good. And hey, I have disagreed with Gene Simmons on this show on more than one occasion, but when someone does something like that with and has the ability to do that just out of their own pocket, no questions asked. I mean, hey, what else can you say? But thank you. So good on him for that. Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh yeah, I'll disagree with that, and until I'm blue in the face, because I definitely don't buy that at all.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, my next one is Blabbermouth. Twisted Sisters told Entertainment Weekly that his first Rats will be released on May 22nd via Red Penguin Books. Past January, the 68-year musician who lives in Southern that frat. I don't know where, but I lost you again.
Well, I mean, I've been able to hear most of you on most of everything you've been saying
Anyway,
on
Steiner.
StreamYard. It is on StreamYard.
Definitely does not reach our friend.
Doesn't seem to be.
Where are we linked to on StreamYard?
The Facebook group.
Just the Facebook group.
Yeah, because I can only broadcast to one destination on this free StreamYard, so that's the only place that we're broadcasting to is the Facebook group. So
that's probably the problem. Give me just a second. I'm actually doing that too.
Oh, are you really?
Uh,
Oh, that might not be helpful. I didn't know that. Oh, I can see it now in the upper. I can see it now in the upper right hand corner of the screen. I see it now.
not? Probably not, but
Couldn't hurt.
yes, yeah. So let me go back and.
All right. Well, here. All right. Well, shit. I was gonna say since you're doing that, let me read another story. But I'm all out of stories, so I read all mine.
You're still on there, but it's not showing me. What the fuck? There I am. Okay, whatever. This is fucking crazy. That's the reason I asked us. Well, hell, if we were just on StreamYard, I would have just killed it up. So,
Well, after we talked about it last week, you told me you told me just to go ahead and go back to streaming over there on Facebook, and you would go ahead and move because I was broadcasting just solely on YouTube last week, so you had mentioned just moving YouTube back over to Restream and then just having me broadcast over there to the Facebook group. So that's why I set it up that way. So
I didn't hear nothing you said. So we were both fucking circling on streamers and stuff.
I don't know at this point.
On Facebook too, so roll with the punches at this point.
Yeah.
All you can do is
We're really sorry, guys. We thought we had this all worked out. So we're sorry anybody who's trying to enjoy the show right now. It's frustrating for us too. So we understand.
yeah,
We get it for sure.
Yeah, it's fucked up for sure. So. Yeah. I think. Let me do this. Let me take everything. Okay. So I just took everything just to see if this is going. I mean, you should be.
I don't know. I don't fucking get what's going on right now. I don't get it.